Hi everyone, I'm Vicki from Ann Arbor Vegan Kitchen, and today I'm going to be making for you a recipe which is one of my very favorites, and it's called mac and cheese perfection. And it is actually in my cookbook that you're looking at right here, called the Plant-Based for Life Cookbook, which is available on my website, AnnArborVeganKitchen.com, and also through Amazon. If you have my cookbook, you can take a peek at the recipe on page 177, and otherwise just follow along with me today. So we're going to get started right now. And the first thing we're going to do is put the pasta on to cook, which I've just done, and it's just ready and drained. But one of the fun things I like to do is kind of get that pasta started and then make the sauce and see if I can beat how long it takes to make that pasta by the time that sauce is ready, and almost every single time, no problem. So here we go. We're going to start with our pasta, which I have just prepared ahead, and that is some whole wheat pasta. You can make any kind you like. You can, if you're avoiding gluten, you can certainly use, whatever you prefer, lentil pasta, rice pasta, and so forth. And then we're going to saute an onion. And so what I've done here is to saute an onion simply in water. You can see how golden that gets. I don't use any oil at all in this recipe. And so now we're going to take this very lovely sauteed, browned onion and stick this right into the container of a large blender. I'm using a Vitamix. If you don't have a Vitamix or another high-powered blender, you may want to, you can use any blender you like, but the next ingredient that we're going to add is our cashews. And so we have here 1 cup of raw cashews. Into a Vitamix, they can go directly. But if you don't have a Vitamix, again, if you have a simple blender that doesn't have as much power to it, you may want to soak these cashews for a couple of hours ahead of time. We're going to just pour that into our container. We've got 1 cup of the cashews. We have the 1 onion that I showed you already. Now we're going to add 1 cup of an unsweetened plant milk. I'm using soy milk, but you can use any kind of milk that you prefer that is a non-dairy milk. And then we're adding 1/2 of a cup of water. And to that, we're going to add 1/2 of a jar that looks like this of roasted red peppers. Now, if you choose to, this is a brand called Cento, which I can find in Ann Arbor, but you can use any kind of roasted red peppers that you like. I make sure that there's no sugar added or no oil added for my purposes, but use whatever kind you like. And if you prefer to not use this shortcut of a roasted red pepper that has already been prepared, you can roast your own in the oven for about 15 minutes at about 400 degrees. I'm using this shortcut because in this recipe, I think it works beautifully. So what I normally will do is take a jar like this, drain it, rinse it in water, and divide it in half. I'll use half in this recipe, and the other half I'll go ahead and freeze, because then it'll be ready for the next time I want to use that without having to open a brand new jar. So that's what I've got here. I took some frozen and got it out of the freezer. It's still kind of chilly and a little bit half frozen, but it's fine as it is. We're going to take these roasted red peppers and add that to our container. And now we're going to add 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast, which gives it an almost cheesy flavor for people who like to add that. Sometimes people tell me they don't like nutritional yeast. You can leave it out if you like, or use a little bit less. I'm now adding 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and then a little bit of water or broth, another 2 tablespoons or so. And then I'm adding 2 teaspoons, I'm eyeballing it, but you can measure this, about 2 teaspoons of just a plain yellow mustard. And then a little bit of salt. I'm using about 2 teaspoons. This makes quite a bit, but you can avoid the salt if you'd like to. I'm adding a dash of cayenne pepper just for a little bite. And now we've got everything, I believe. Just double checking. Now we're going to turn on our blender and make a little bit of noise for a moment. We're going to turn this into a delicious sauce. Here we go. Can you believe it? That's all there is. Our sauce is ready. And now I'm just going to move this out of the way and pull our hot pasta over to show you how we're going to plate this. Let's see how hot that is. And now we're ready to show you exactly what we're going to serve. So at this point, if you wanted to, you could mix this whole batch of pasta. I've got this box of a pound that I've cooked of whole wheat spiralized noodles. You can use any kind of pasta that you like, as I mentioned. And we've got this gorgeous sauce, which is thick and rich and full of vegetables, mostly the onions, of course, that give it the flavor, along with the roasted red pepper and a little seasoning. And that's about all there is to it. So now we're going to plate this up. And again, if you wanted to, you could take all of the sauce, all of the pasta, put it into a casserole dish and even bake it for a few minutes to get it nice and warm and soaked through and extra creamy and goodness, full of goodness. But what I'm doing here is just putting a couple of scoops full into a bowl and adding a little sauce over the top. Or maybe a lot of sauce, because I just love this sauce. And here we are with this beautiful sauce. I'm just going to show you how lovely this is at this point, ready to enjoy. So beautiful and full of delicious flavor. But just to add a little bit of extra interest, if you like, to turn it into even more of a home ready to eat meal, we can add a little bit of, I have some roasted sauteed vegetables here. I have some sauteed Brussels sprouts, some sauteed, actually steamed, multicolored carrots, and a little bit of a beautiful purple cauliflower. So I'm just going to scoop a little bit of this on to the top of our pasta, because this color is so wonderful. And now with this lovely combination of vegetables, pasta, and sauce, we could add a little more sauce if we wanted to. Give it an extra little stir. And now we've got this lovely pasta made even one step more exciting with these beautiful vegetables that are on top and mixed in. So we can kind of finish this off and plate this more carefully than I've done here, but I wanted to make sure we got this all set to show you. And here we go. We're ready to enjoy. Thank you so much for visiting me here on YouTube in my Ann Arbor Vegan Kitchen channel. And please take a peek at my Ann Arbor Vegan Kitchen blog. Subscribe to my newsletter so that you can get new recipes as soon as they are published. And I hope to see you next time.